Hello everyone, this is Sarthak here. Our second assignment in our human computer interaction course was to write a program to create Alexa, a voice assistant that will tell you the date, time, and temperature upon asking. Our group number is 9 and other group members are Huzefa, Pratik, Abhijit, and Arun. Now let's move on to the code. Our first module which is imported is the date. A date in Python is not a data type of its own, but we can import a module named datetime to work with dates as objects. The datetime module supplies classes for manipulating dates and times, while date and time arithmetic is supported. The focus of the implementation is on the efficient attribute extraction for output formatting and manipulation. The datetime object has a method for formatting data objects into readable strings. The method is called strftime and it takes one parameter format to specify the format of the returned string. We'll also be using this package to output date and time. Next is the time. Time module provides various time related functions. The sleep function which we'll use here suspends or delays the execution of the current thread for the given number of seconds. Next is the pyttsx3 module. This is a text to speech conversion library in Python. Unlike alternative libraries, it works offline and is completely compatible with both Python 2 and 3. An application invokes the pyttsx3.init factory function to get a reference to pyttsx3 engine instance. It is a very easy to use tool which converts the entered text into speech. The pyttsx3 module supports two voices. First is female and the other one is male. The male voice comes by default. Suppose you want to change the voice generated from male to female. This can be done easily, but in Ubuntu only the male voices are available. We have getProperty and setProperty functions also available to change the rate and volume, that is the speed and the volume. We can also change the voice, that is the voice for different languages like African, Hindi, Hebrew, Chinese, and many more. The next package which we have here is the speech recognition package, which is imported as SR. Speech recognition is an important feature in several applications used, such as home automation, artificial intelligence, etc. Speech recognition, as the name suggests, refers to automatic recognition of human speech. Speech recognition is one of the most important tasks in the domain of human-computer interaction. Speech recognition has various applications ranging from automatic transcription of speech data to interacting with robots via speech. Next is the requests module. It is an elegant and simple HTTP library for Python built for human beings. Requests allow you to send HTTP requests extremely easily. There is no need to manually add query strings to your URLs or to form your post data. The HTTP request returns a response object with all the response data, that is the content, encoding, status, etc. The next module is JSON. JSON is a syntax for storing and exchanging data. It is a text written with JavaScript object notation. If you have a JSON string, you can parse it by using the JSON.loads method. We require JSON and requests because we have used OpenWeatherMap API for getting the temperature of different cities. So this was all about the packages which we have used in our assignment. Now moving on, we have speech function, which is the voice of Alexa. That is, whatever text will be provided as a parameter to this function, Alexa will convert that text to speech. First, this is the EN means that we are using the English language. Then the pyttsx3.init function. This means this function gets a reference to an engine instance that will use the given driver. We will store that reference in the engine variable. If the requested driver is already in use by another engine instance, that engine is returned. Otherwise, a new engine is created. Next is the set property, which we'll see afterwards. Next is the say function. Engine.say queues a command to speak an utterance. The speech is output according to the properties set before this command in the queue. Then comes the run and wait function. It blocks while processing all currently queued commands. Invokes callbacks for engine notifications appropriately. It returns when all the commands queued before this call are emptied from the queue. So this was all about the speak function. Now comes the listen function, which converts the speech to text. And the module used is speech recognition module to convert the speech to text. To convert speech to text, the one and only class we need is the recognizer class from the speech recognition module. We'll create two objects, src and r, of recognizer class of speech recognition module. These two objects will help in converting speech to text. Here we are using speech function previously declared here, because firstly Alexa will start the interaction by asking some questions, and then the user will respond to its answer, which is to be converted to text. Now there are several ways to process audio input received via microphone, and various libraries have been developed to do so, and one such library is PyAudio. Now it's very important to install this library, otherwise you won't be able to use microphone as source for input. Now the source for the audio to be transcribed is a microphone. To capture the audio from a microphone, we need to first create an object of the microphone class of the speech recognition module, and using sr.microphone, and use it as a source. Now what about the noise? An audio file or the speech can contain noise due to several reasons. Noises can actually affect the quality of speech to text translation. So to reduce noise, the recognizer class contains adjust for ambient noise method, which takes two parameters. First one is the audio object, which is in source in this case, and there is one more parameter, that is duration, which denotes the time to let the recognizer adjust the energy threshold based on the surrounding noise level. Now the next step is to capture the audio from the microphone, and to do so you need to call the listen method of the recognizer class. The listen method also returns the speech recognition source object, which can then be passed to the recognize Google method. So here we'll get the speech which the user will say using the microphone, and will be stored in the audio variable. Then we'll pass that audio to the recognize Google method to convert that speech to text. Recognize Google uses Google Speech API to convert speech to text. We will use recognize Google method to to transcribe our audio. This takes two parameters. One is the audio file which is to be converted, and the second one is the language, that is here in our case English. Then we'll print that query and also return to use it in the main function. Now moving on to the temperature function. This temperature function is used to get the temperature of any city using OpenWeatherMap API, which is available for free. First we take the city name as input from the user and then find the temperature of that city in degrees Celsius. OpenWeatherMap is a service that provides weather data including current weather data, forecast and historical data. So this is the base URL of that OpenWeatherMap, using which we'll fetch the temperature of that particular city. This is the API key for this web service which we are using to find the temperature of given city. This API key is freely available at OpenWeatherMap website, which one can easily get after making an account in this website. Now we will combine all the three things, base URL, API key and city name, to form the complete URL. Now this get method of requests module returns the response object which is given by the complete URL, which is formed in this variable complete URL. Next, this JSON method of response object converts the JSON format data into Python format data, through which we can easily get the information. And now X contains the list of nested dictionaries. Now first we'll check the value of the COD key, whether it's equal to 404 or not. If it's equal to 404, then this means that the city is not available. Otherwise, if it's not equal, then we have found the city and the temperature is available. Store the value of main key in Y variable. This main key is in turn a dictionary which contains data in the form of key value pair. Store the value corresponding to the temp key of Y in current temperature variable, but this temperature is in Kelvin units. Hence we subtract 273 from the original value to get the temperature in degrees Celsius. Then we will format the floating type values to 2 decimal places, and then we'll print the temperature in degrees Celsius. This is the main function. Alexa will introduce itself to the user and will ask about the user's name, and then Alexa will greet the user with user's name. Now here we have used an infinite loop, and before asking for any query we have used time.sleep for 2 seconds, so that it waits for 2 seconds before asking any query. We have maintained one flag variable to keep track that whatever user said is understood by Alexa or not. So whatever user said will be stored in the question variable, and if this variable contains date as a substring, then we'll fetch the today's date using date.today function. The query contains time, then we'll first fetch the time using time.datetime.now function, and will only use the hour and minute values, as the time will be in 24-hour format. If the query contains temperature, then we'll fetch the temperature using temperature function, and in all these three queries we have set the flag to true. So if the flag is set to false, then Alexa will respond with this string, and if user responds with nothing, then we'll break the infinite loop. So this is all. Now let's dive into the implementation. First we will execute all the blocks of the code.
Hey there, I'm Alexa. What's your name?
Sarthak.
Hi Sarthak. What do you want me to do?
How are you?
Sorry, I can't get what you are trying to say. You can ask me date, time and temperature of any city. What do you want me to do?
Tell me date, time, and temperature.
Today is November 11, 2020. Time is 1:31. Enter city name.
Kanpur.
Temperature in Celsius unit equals 16.15 degrees Celsius. What do you want me to do?
Nothing.
Okay then, bye Sarthak.
This was all about the implementation of the program. Now let's check the set property function of PyTTSX3. Let's change the rate or the speed of the voice to 70. Speak. Alex. Now let's hear it at the speed of 70.
I am Alexa, nice to meet you.
Let's change the volume. The volume varies from 0 to 1, so let's make it 0.8.
I am Alexa, nice to meet you.
So this was all about the implementation. Thank you for your time.